It was a show that went out 3 nights a week, live.
Wogan, you're on.
With a live audience. And everyone who is anyone dropping in. The great and the good, the bad and the ugly. They called it Wogan. I never knew why. So, if you're sitting comfortably, I'll show you something I made earlier. God knows what they'll make of us in 25 years' time. And we're acting up on today's wander back through the wonderful world of Wogan. I said that without a laugh. With a lineup featuring some of the nation's best-loved mummers and thefts, including Helen Mirren, Judi Dench, Bob Hoskins, Pierce Brosnan, and Julie Walters. Let's meet a true giant of the British cinema, figuratively and metaphorically. I am the proud first TV host in this country to risk an interview with Christopher Lee. Mind you, I admit to wearing a garlic necklace under my shirt.
Now, you may hate it, but people still see you as the Prince of Darkness. Does this bother you?
Well, it's a fairly high rank. Anyone should complain too much. You've got to be recognised for something, you know, at some stage of your career. It wasn't quite the way I dreamed when I started as an actor in '47 that I would make my name. Let's put it that way.
Yes, you're always cast as the fella in the black hat, aren't you? You never... Are we
They have
ever
the best parts, you know.
Yeah. Are we ever going to see you in the old white hat? And the
Oh, yes, I've done a bit of that, particularly in the last 9 years. I've done a lot of comedy in the States.
You did Saturday Night Live, didn't
Yes,
you?
I hosted it,
Because
yes.
we had Pamela Sue Martin who did that as well.
Yes, I hosted it with the late John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray. All of them, understandably, have gone on to become very big stars. And also the girls, of course, Gilda Radner, Lorraine Newman, Jane Curtin, and so on. It's the most fantastic experience I think I've ever had in my life, and I don't think I've ever been so terrified as I was before I went on. It's an hour and a half.
But they recognise your ability to do comedy, which not too many people have they? I mean...
Well, I think if you're going to be a real actor, or professional, whatever you like to call it, you must possess a degree of versatility, otherwise you're not going to last very long, are you? Obviously, after some of the characters that I'd played over the years, people found it a little difficult to believe that I could play comedy. But in America, at Paramount, for instance, I did a picture called Serial, in which I played an American businessman, a headhunter, a very hard man, and at weekends he was the head of a gay Hells Angels gang. And I did that, and it became quite a memorable experience for everyone, I think.
Yeah. Did people ever confuse you with these threatening roles that you play? I mean, has anybody ever confused the real Christopher Lee with the kind of threatening, cadaverous person?
Well, it did happen once, yes. It did. Quite a long time ago, actually, about 20 years ago, maybe more. My wife and I were driving back to Switzerland from Italy, and we blew a tire in the car. And so I drove up to the side of the road, and I said to my wife, "Now you stay there, we put down the red triangle behind the car, and I will go off in the distance there to those houses where I see the lights, and I will get a telephone somehow, I hope, and I will call the breakdown people and everything will be fine." So I got out of the car, walked behind the car, and disappeared. That was the first thing, because it was a huge cutting that I couldn't see in the dark. They were building for a motorway. So I vanished, and my wife was a little bit surprised, but perhaps she might even have been quite relieved. But at any rate, I vanished, and I clawed my way across this thing and up the other side through acres of mud, dust and sand and everything, and charged across these fields, falling over every 5 feet, until I got to the first house. And I banged on the door, and a voice from within in Italian said, "Chi è là?" which is who is there. And I then delivered myself of a spate of Italian, saying that I was in great distress and the car had broken down. Could I use his telephone? He said yes, and he opened the door. He had a large Alsatian with him, I may say. They both of them took one look at me. I was standing in the doorway, covered in mud from head to foot, white as a sheet, looking a little strange for a change. And the dog started barking and the man fainted. And made the most terrible noises, gave a terrific howl, and said in Italian, "E lui, it's him." And boom.
Someone else who had a reputation for making men feel a little on the faint side. She's never lost it. Helen Mirren. At the time, she just won the Cannes Film Festival Best Actress Award for the 1984 film Cal, and reminded me that this wasn't our first encounter.
Do you know we've been on a chat show before?
In...
I knew you wouldn't remember.
No, I do remember. For radio.
For radio, you remember, do you?
It was for Radio 4.
You and Nigel Dempster.
Yes.
And I couldn't get a word in edgeways, and I thought you wouldn't remember.
I remember
because
in
you
Birmingham.
and
We
Nigel
did it in
Dempster
Birmingham.
rabbited for about... I mean, honestly, it was so difficult to get a word in edgeways.
Nige was only about that height then, do you remember?
Neither of you were as rich and famous as you are now.
He was a boy gossip columnist then.
That's right.
I was a boy broadcaster.
Yes, boy broadcaster.
And you were
right.
a girl actress.
I was a girl well, yes. Yes, I was.
Yes, you were. You're younger than both of us.
I can't actually remember when it was, but
It's about-
I just remember the two of you going on and on and
Now,
on.
stop going. I think it was just before the Napoleonic Wars. What about this Best Actress Award at Cannes for Cal?
Well, that was a great surprise, and to all concerned, I might add, including the people who produced the film, or distributed the film, or whatever. No one believed it was going to happen, and I certainly had no idea at all.
Did you go down to Cannes to all that glamour and
No, I
stand
didn't.
about?
I always miss out on the glorious occasions for some reason.
Do you
I'm
not
all
like
sort of
do's like that? Do
I
you
love
avoid them deliberately?
Excuse my outfit. Excuse me for saying
I was
so
starting to think
today.
it was...
I didn't. I sort of thought, well, I'd just go and chat to Terry, you know. I don't
Yeah.
have to get dressed up for that.
Well, no. Nobody does, do they? You've been cast from time to time in overtly sexy roles, and people do
Like what?
think of you as a sexy actress. Well, Caligula, for instance.
Yes, Caligula, right. True.
Yeah. I mean, do you think it's the part that gives you that, or...
Or my natural erotic charge.
Exactly.
What do you think?
I think it's your natural erotic charge. I think it's probably good acting. But they... Hello. More, they cry.
As far as I'm prepared to go.
What about the Shakespearean? You started on the Shakespeare early, didn't you? 19, Cleopatra.
Yes, in the youth theatre. I was in the youth theatre then, the National Youth Theatre, a great organisation that gave people like me a chance, like Jimmy Boyle talking about, you know, people in... I'm not remotely connected, but I think that it's any... Oh!
Oh!
You see? I shall never be a member of the A group, shall I?
That was why you did that deliberately. A little bit of actorish business there.
These are my best pearls. I mean, they were given
Very
to me.
nice.
They're very classy.
Age shall not wither her. In fact, she's got better looking. And here's another one, Julie Walters. We were more used to seeing her on the telly back then, but she came and told us how the phenomenally successful film Educating Rita meant Hollywood was now beating a path to her door.
I've had scripts, Terry.
I've heard about it.
You heard about the scripts?
Oh. Didn't old Uncle Burt Reynolds offer you a part?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I don't want to get sued, though. I don't know whether I should talk about it. Yeah, he did, yeah.
Go on, try it. I'll fight it in every court in the land.
OK, then, all right.
Yeah.
Then be it on your shoulders.
Yes,
as
I
they say.
deny everything, of course.
Well, well, all right, then, yes, I did. I did get offered Bert, as I call him.
Old Bert,
yeah.
yes.
And I did get a script, but to put it mildly, it wasn't my cup of tea, really. But I remember thinking, I must meet him, because my mother will love it. But then I rang her up later saying, I told her, I said, I'm going to meet Burt Reynolds. You know, and there was a great silence. I knew that she didn't know who he was.
You didn't tell him that, did you?
No, I didn't tell him, good
maybe
God, no.
Some blow that would have been.
It would have been a blow.
But you turned down a chance to appear with Burt Reynolds in a movie. You're hardly in a position to pick and choose.
Oh, I'm sorry. What do you mean I'm hardly in a position?
Well, I mean, you've just arrived. You make this movie, Educating Rita,
Yeah.
and you could get an Oscar for it.
Who said that?
I did. Oh, you're beginning to make me doubt myself now. Are you hearing voices?
No.
But you make this movie and you arrive in Hollywood and you have been feted and people are saying what a marvellous discovery you are. And then Burt Reynolds offers you a part. Now, Burt Reynolds' movies are very popular. They make an awful lot of money and it could be an avenue to further fame, couldn't it? But you've turned it down.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, well, yes, I did turn it down. And I didn't want it because... and part of me didn't want it because they offer you lots of money. You know, and a girl could have been, you know, set up for life, as they say. But the thing was, it was an action movie, do you know what I mean? Bert was having everybody. And, well, he was. I mean, well, in the script, I don't know what's happened in the book. You know, every 5 minutes, you know, 4 or 5 girls, you know, in and out. Oh, it's a family show.
Of course it is.
Yeah, then I shouldn't have said it. No, anyway, so it was all that. There was all that, and it was all kind of action and fighting and sort of, and it wasn't, I mean...
And just a suggestion of sex.
And a suggestion of
Yes,
it.
yeah.
The having, that's what having means.
Yes, thank you. Was it because... There was nothing to do with the fact that there was nothing in the script about you having any?
No, excuse me, but there was a suggestion of it towards the end. Yes,
you wanted it closer to the beginning?
No! I didn't. I'm so rude. No, I wanted it without the toupee.
Oh.
That's supposed to mention it. But I went to meet him, you see. I went to meet Bert. Because it was... even though I said no, I didn't want to do it, he said, oh, come down anyway, I'd like to meet you. So talking about toupees, this is why I'm bringing this up. So I remember going in the car to his place for dinner. We went for dinner, me and my friend. I remember saying to her...
You brought a friend with you?
What's that got to do with it?
Well, because that's the real boring thing, isn't it? Can my friend come as well? Was that it?
Yeah, well, your girl needs a bit of support. See what I mean? No, she does.
No, what a bust you must have been in Hollywood. You're bringing your friend with you everywhere.
I did, yeah.
So you brought your friend to see Bert. What happened?
He said, well, yeah. Well, I was only going to... Because I mentioned toupee, I thought, well, I may as well tell you that we should not... I said to her, don't mention wig. Don't mention wig. This will never be shown in America, will it?
We'll be very lucky if it's shown in Britain.
Well, anyway, so I said to her, don't mention wig. So, of course, the first 3 minutes, wig, it kind of came out. Oh, God, just appalling. And
so you turned Bert down?
Yeah.
And did any other interesting offers come up?
Yeah, but this is a family show, you see. Yeah, no,
I mean,
no.
from Hollywood. I mean, following on the success of Educating Rita.
No.
But Michael Caine said that he thought, he's on record as saying, that he thought that Educating Rita would do for you what Alfie did for him.
Yeah. Well, I've been offered the remake of Zulu. I'm not tall enough and I don't wear glasses.
As always, a little burst of music. A remarkable and theatrical performer whose talent is enjoying another surge of acclaim, and rightly so. Here's Kate Bush with her biggest single from the 1980s, Running Up That Hill.
Do you wanna feel how it feels?
One of our most successful actors next. Director, producer. Kenneth Branagh was just 24 years old when he came to talk about playing Henry V. A young, talented man. Well, that wasn't all we had in common, of course.
Now, you're Irish, I'm very pleased to say.
Yes.
Playing Henry V. That's a bit of miscasting there, isn't it?
It's a bit worrying, actually, yes, because they keep saying he's a Monmouth lad from Wales, so I feel, especially as one of the most famous Henry V's was Richard Burton, who was the real McCoy, but I think having a bit of Celtic blood.
Do you play him as a Welshman?
I do, actually, I do. At one stage in the nighttime scene when Henry goes into disguise, I use a Welsh accent because I think that's what he would use, which was spotted by one of the critics who said Mr. Branagh in the nighttime scene is effortlessly a Geordie.
Some of these critics are as sharp as a sausage, aren't they?
They certainly are, yes.
Yeah. You're very young to play a Shakespearean king, though, because one would think that Henry V was about 30 or so. I mean,
he was actually...
And you're older than you look, of course.
Yeah, well, but I can play down. He was actually about 26, 27, and it's quite good. There are lots of references in the play to him being in the May morn of his youth, so I look quite fresh-faced from out there, you see.
Yeah, but after several seasons playing it, the old fresh-faced looks can go, can't they? It's a tough part, obviously, a physical part as well.
It is, yes. It's, I mean, because you've got to, you know, when you've got to win the Battle of Agincourt,
of course,
twice in a day, it can take it out of you.
You're the stuff on which empires were built, you know. Now, how long is it since you've been out of RADA?
3 years.
And you look at you. So some would say you're pretty close to the top of the profession already.
Yeah, well, yeah, some would. Some would say I've got lots to learn. I think I'll probably...
What would you say?
I'd probably be one of those, actually, yes. Having a lot of experience in a short space of time actually makes you aware of... because the more you do, I suppose, the more potentially frightened you can get. And actually, the most frightening thing is other people's expectations of you. Because especially if you've been doing something big and people say, like, you might become, you know, terribly good, then you've got that riding on every performance of Henry V as well. So you have to dismiss it. It's kind of just get on with the job.
At your age, how do you react to criticism, whether adverse or complimentary?
Well, I wish I could say I'd never read them and it doesn't bother me. But I read them and it bothers me.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yes, I'm sure you do, yes.
There's no need to be quite so emphatic. Will you pack it in, for goodness sake? Anytime anybody shoots a barb into me, they're into applause.
Hello, Tell, he's been knocked for 6 again, hooray!
Now, I first saw you playing the part of Billy in that television series with a Northern Ireland accent.
Oh, yes.
And at the same time, you were playing in the West End in another country with a public school accent.
Yes. Well, I mean, I'm lucky, proud to be from Belfast, and although I left when I was 9, which is why I suppose I end up talking like this, it's given me quite a good ear for accents, and picking it up for that show was relatively easy.
Well, for another country, you're not a public school boy. What sort of an accent did you take on for that?
Well, that was terribly intimidating to begin with, because having been to a comprehensive school and not a public school, and because it was set in the 30s, I went to the first audition, started talking like that, and everything was sort of far back. So you couldn't understand a word I said, actually. So until they said, "What are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, can't you talk properly?" They thought there was something wrong with me. So I just dropped it and decided to, you know, be myself, and they still didn't understand me, but I was completely natural.
You're now in the Shakespearean mode. Do you intend to stay? Is that going to be your main aim, to achieve greatness as a Shakespearean actor, or will you be drawn to the tinsel of Hollywood and the glamour of the films?
Well, I'd like to be drawn to it. Yes, I'm waiting for the phone to ring, yes.
The money?
Well, no, it'd be nice. It'd be in an ideal world, it'd be nice to balance things up. I mean, one of my plans is to form a company and actually go back and do some theatre in Belfast and elsewhere and bring it to England. But I'd like to balance that up with, if it's possible, doing some film and some television. And I mean, in an ideal world, you do a bit of both. But whether that's possible remains to be seen.
Of course, turned out to be very possible indeed. We turn our attentions to the much-missed Bob Hoskins, a fantastic actor who loved his craft and everything that came with it.
You're very hot property now, aren't you? Well, you're what's called hot property in the movies, aren't you? Bob?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. You like it?
Yeah, I love it.
You love being a movie star,
Oh,
don't
yeah,
you?
terrific.
Hang on, the fly's just landed on my nose. Get out of here. Yeah. I mean, you love it, don't you? You're not one of those people who say, well, no, I don't like being a star.
No, it actually comes. I think I can see how people back off from it, but it actually comes to the first time you walk into a public place and everybody in that place knows who you are and you don't know a soul. Now, I can imagine like a lot of people actually think, oh, hold up, back off, and that is never going to happen to me again, and they sort of isolate themselves. Well, with me, it was a question of, I've always liked people, you know, and because I didn't know anybody, didn't mean to say I didn't want to know anybody, so I was in there like a flash. You know, what? Hold up, how you going? That was sort of, yeah, and it's great.
Tell me, what's fascinated me is that you made the transition with extraordinary ease to American movies, and notwithstanding you've got a Cockney accent, you're one of the very few British actors who can do a convincing American accent. Why did they suddenly, how did it come about that they picked you for the Cotton Club? And then, of course, they picked you for Roger Rabbit and all the rest. How did they know you could do an American accent?
I don't think the accent really is that good. Nobody notices because of the shape.
You're shaped like an American.
Well, no, if you're 5'6" cubic and you sort of walk on the screen, who's that? Do you know what I mean? And then, who's that fella?
So they don't hear what you're saying?
No, you slip through. Keep mumbling, you're all right.
You were once paid an awful lot of money for not appearing in a movie, though, weren't you?
Oh, we did with Brian De Palma, yeah. Well, he phoned me up and he sent me this script of The Untouchables. And he said, you know, read Al Capone. So I thought, Al Capone, yeah, I'll have some of this. And I read it, and he said, meet me in the Beverly, Wiltshire, in the hotel, in the bar. And we met in the bar. And he said, listen, I want De Niro to do this. I thought, oh, great, terrific. And he said, but if I don't think he's going to do it, but I want him to do it. But if he doesn't, will you do it? I said, yeah, you know, if I'm free, but yeah, I will. Terrific. No, fine. And I went off and I forgot about it. And then I saw in the paper that De Niro was doing Al Capone. I thought, oh, he's got him. Terrific. Then I was sitting there having my cornflakes in the morning, and Linda's opening the mail. She went, hold up. She said, we've got to check it for $200,000. I said, what's that? Hold up. And it said, thank you, Bob, for being my standby. Love, Brian. And I thought, well, if Hollywood's like this, I phoned him up a couple of times. Yeah, Brian, you got any more films you don't want me to be?
Now, last year's big movie which starred you was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Now, you didn't do much promotion for that. Did Roger Rabbit have a bad effect on you? Were you
I was
loopy?
I was totally loopy at the end of it. Well, the point was that to do it, to actually keep your eyes, like if you put your hand in front of your eyes and lock off your eyes and then take your hand away, your eyes immediately open up and you can see, you know, and you can see that on camera. So you've actually got to learn to hallucinate. And Rosa, my daughter, who's got this friend called Jeffrey, who I've sat on a couple of times, she like we used to play these games, and she taught me how to. So when we're a kid, our imagination is right there, you know, and you can actually take it out and look at it. But as we get older, we push it further and further back to survive. You know what I mean? And I learnt to do this, and having to hallucinate for sort of 8 months, you know, very intensely, I lost control of it. There were some very rude things happening to people that, you know, and I was trying to hold it together. I couldn't get out, you know, I couldn't start doing that type of thing. Do you know what I mean? It was a bit weird. You know?
You all right now?
Oh yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, Linda took me to the West Indies, you know, and even Rosa said, you're over the top, Dad, you've gone too far. Well, Rosa debriefed me, you know what I mean? So that's where it went.
Yeah, Harvey was the White Rabbit as well.
Yeah, Harvey, yeah, but I had loads of weasels and all sorts of things doing some really...
And you weren't even drinking?
Rude things. Well, I can't say that.
Oh. No pink elephants. Did your kids like the film? Did they?
Yeah, they did. Jack was a bit funny.
How old was Jack?
Jack was he was just 2, 3, he was just on the verge of being 3, or maybe he was just 3. And he saw it. And like afterwards, he was really funny with me. You know, it took me about 2 weeks to work out what it was. And what it was the fact that here's my old man, he's got mates like Yosemite Sam and Bugs Bunny, and he don't bring them home. He really had the needle with me, you know what I mean? Oh, that, you know, what sort of old man are you? You got friends like this and all I meet is your boring lot.
Well, moving right along from the merry chatter, it's the food of love, and one of the most enduring singers who's also done a bit of the old acting in his time, Sting. Now, when Judi Dench popped up on the show, she was probably most widely known at the time for a sitcom, A Fine Romance, which co-starred her late husband, Michael Williams. And she came in for a chat in 1985, and Fearless as ever, I began with the burning question that everyone was then asking.
Why Judy with an I instead of with a Y?
Because it's Judith. And when I went to a drama school, there was another Judy as well. So they decided that they would just knock the TH off. So I became Judy and she was Judy.
And you call your daughter Findy?
Finty.
Finty.
Yes,
What's that short
that's
for?
just a nickname. She is really called Tara. Yes. Well, it's a logical conclusion. Yes, quite. And so we called her Finty. We thought it was going to be a boy and we called him Finn. But it turned out to be a girl, so she was nicknamed Finty. And that's stuck, really, now.
Yeah. So you're married to that fine actor, Michael Williams, and you work together in a fine romance. Is it that you can't bear to be away from each other?
Well, you see, we do like working together. And you see, I do know where he is in the evening, too, that means. We like working together, and I think that for a lot of actors and actresses, maybe they don't work so well. But we seem to, and we knew each other 9 years before we were married, so we're really old friends.
It's the cliche question. I mean, when you fall out on the set or when you fall out at home, you carry it on to the set
or to the theatre. We've had a couple of tricky times, yes. Yeah. Yes, we've had a couple of tricky times when we had a terrible row just before Christmas last year, and it lasted a whole day, the row, and went on towards the evening, and we were both going to the theatre together to play in a play together, Pack of Lies. And we got into the taxi, and it was ice everywhere in the taxi, ice on the seats, ice from the ceilings. And we looked out of the various windows. He looked out that side, I looked out this side. I thought this is going to make a very tricky evening. And we came to a traffic jam in Shaftesbury Avenue, and still sitting there and still not saying a word, a woman through the window saw us and suddenly went, "A fine romance," and we took it in turns to go, "Thank you very much." It didn't break till the next morning.
The strain.
The strain is terrible, isn't
Emotional and thespian. Yeah. When you're playing something comedy like this, they always say comedy's harder to play than serious stuff. Do you find that so?
Well, I laugh more doing serious stuff than I do during the comedy.
Really?
Yes. I mean, the serious stuff, when you have to actually be very serious and something goes wrong, I've got myself into serious trouble for that. I mean, many things. I mean, in Mother Courage, which is like near 3.5 hours of dragging a cart around the station, not many laughs, about the last afternoon, two of the boys who were playing soldiers, I had to give a drink to, and they used to give me money. And on the last afternoon, because they thought it was so funny, they gave me, instead of giving me the money, they gave me an American card. Express, yes. Yeah. So I didn't bat an eyelid about it, but between the two shows, I doctored the drink, so that when they came and asked for the drink and threw it back, they had half water, half vinegar, cider vinegar. And then what was wonderful about it, and why it actually rebounded on me, was that they had to actually come back and say, "We would like another drink." They have to say in the thing, "We want another drink." And I thought, well, by all means. Here's the next.
What about films? Have you don't seem to have done
No, I don't do it. Well, I'm not asked to do many.
Why not?
Well, because I'm not what they want to look at. They just say, "Oh,
but if they they're not sympathising with you. They're saying shame.
Well, I think that sometimes about films, if you don't go in looking like the person you're meant to look like in the film, people perhaps don't cast you in that part. Whereas in the theatre, you can fool a lot of people a lot of the time. You can look taller in the theatre, and you can do amazing things to yourself that makes you actually not look like yourself at all. And I don't think they like to do that so much in films.
Our final encounter today is with the man who worked for Judi when she was M. Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan. I think he's Irish. This is years before he was cast as 007. Then he was hugely famous for the TV series Remington Steele, which did really well in America, but for some slightly awkward reasons, did a bit less well over here.
Well, as I say, it's enormous in the States. We do show Remington Steele here. It tends to go out a bit at strange times, so maybe that would be the reason why it hasn't grabbed the imagination of the public here in the same way as America, do you think?
I don't think it is going out, is it? Actually, I think the BBC took it off. As far as I know, they did. Well, that's what I heard. I heard it was on again and off again, actually. They put it on Tuesday night at 7, and then they put it on Wednesday night at 11.
Listen, there's no need for you to turn nasty with me. I don't make these decisions. I
know you don't
tell them to take the things off.
I know you don't, but that's what I heard the other day, that it's no longer on.
Oh,
so,
you're still making it, though?
We're still making it, yes. Hence this growth here, see. We've just finished our third season back in the States.
That's not a growth.
That's
That's
not
not
a
a
growth?
growth.
No.
Yes, that's designer stubble you have there.
It's design stubble.
Yeah.
It's kind of
like
jacket. The jacket's got it as well.
You don't wear that out in the street, do you, that jacket?
No. Only on certain occasions.
There's a class of the old Western about that. You
There is,
have any
isn't there?
ambitions to turn into John Wayne or anything?
No, none whatsoever. Although I was going to do a movie, actually, this year, but that never got off the ground.
Yeah.
And that was going to be a Western. That was going to be a...
What happened to the Irish accent?
The Irish accent?
Yeah.
Well, that comes and goes. It all depends on who I'm talking to. So by the end of this interview, I might be back into the brogue. I don't know.
But would you have had to change to a slightly recognizable American accent to work in Remington Steele?
Well, actually, when I was working here, people thought I was mid-Atlantic anyway. So I was halfway there.
Do you have any of the old Irish left? Because how old were you when you left Ireland?
Well, yes, there's a little bit there. Yes, a little bit. I left actually now in '64. I left.
It's coming back. It's coming back.
I left a bit cod, as they would say, but I left in '64.
Do you remember any of the old Irish, any of the Gaelic? Do you remember your name in Irish?
No, I don't. No, I just about remember it in English, actually.
Pierce Brosnan.
No, all I remember is Sig Shears and Dullawallia. And Sig Shears means sit down, and Dullawallia means go home.
Do you not remember in class, Will Cadagum Dullamach?
No. I very rarely put my hand up.
No, of course, because you were educated by the Christian Brothers.
Christian Brothers, they were fierce fellows.
Ah,
fierce fellows,
yeah.
yes.
Put your hand up, you were very lucky to get it back.
Really? Yes, but I survived it anyway, and so...
You certainly have survived it.
By way of Navan and Wimbledon, and now the Hollywood Hills in L.A. That's a strange place.
It's not
strange
bad.
place.
Well, we've had various reports of the Hollywood Hills and life there, but you enjoy it, don't you?
I enjoy it, yes. I struck a vein of gold there. I was very fortunate. I was really lucky. I mean...
you made a couple of small films, or you had small parts in a couple of films here
yes.
before you went.
Yeah, I know the one you're going to pick up, yes. I was in... It was a slow week that week, actually, and I got into two films. I got into a film called The Long Good Friday, and another one was called The Mirror Cracked with Elizabeth Taylor.
I don't remember you in The Long Good Friday. Was that a quick part?
I was the gentleman killer. I was the killer. I pick the fellow up in the swimming baths, and then I stab him, and then I pop up at the end of the movie and I point at Mr. Hoskins' head.
Yeah. You had to bend down to point to Mr. Hoskins.
No, and the other one was I was being cradled on Liz Taylor's bosoms. It's it's very brief. I mean, not her bosoms, but I mean my appearance. But it's just, she looks into my eyes and says, "Jamie, Jamie," and puts her head, and that was it.
Oh.
Anyway, since then...
You're breaking out in a sweat at the very top.
I know. Since then, it gets very warm on here. Can I tell you this?
It does. That's because it's live. Oh, yes, do.
Really, yes.
You've been very careful about under the arms and everything, have you?
No, I don't know about that, but...
One has to be careful these days.
Yes.
It does. Get a little close.
A little bit of velvet.
That's the roar of the grease paint and the smell of the crowd, you know.
Yes,
You always had the ambitions to do the acting.
Not really, no. It came out of the blue, actually. I left school and I was a commercial artist. And I went into the studio one day and I was talking to a fellow colleague and about acting, and he said, well, I go to this place called the Oval House Theatre Club. And that was back in the late 60s. At that time, the experimental theatre was really blooming, and...
You weren't one of those idiots who walked around the street, acting in the street or anything.
Yes,
You
I did
didn't.
that. I did
Yes,
that,
no.
yes. I
Don't
did that.
say
I
that.
did fire eating. I was a fire eater for 2 weeks in the Hoffman Circus.
You wouldn't try that now with the beard, I'd say.
No, I did it on a show, actually. I did it on Remington Steele one night and nearly blew myself up. So I did it. That's how really I got smitten by acting. I used to go down to the theatre club every Tuesday night and Wednesday night, and then eventually it became every night. And eventually I gave up commercial art and joined a theatre company, and we got an Arts Council grant and went up and down the country, and then decided that I wanted to go legitimate, and then I trained at a great drama school.
Whatever happened to that ambition to go legitimate? But never mind that. But the final question is a rather worrying one for me, because I've made it perfectly clear to old Cubby, hi Cubs, that I am available for the James Bond thing, and now... now I understand that you are the front runner.
I don't know anything about that.
Now, don't start.
That's a wicked rumour, really. I mean, that's quite something. It's fabrication by the press back there in the US. I mean, it's...
Have you never been... Has Cubby not sidled up to you at a party and said, "Hey, kid,
Cubby hasn't
like to be
anything
James
of the
Bond?"
sort, no.
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 Well, I shall peruse and indeed pursue the matter further, because we hope to have the present incumbent, Roger Moore, along with us fairly shortly. And I shall find out, and we'll probably get a picture of you and throw darts into it.
Good, well, I'm sure he'd know better.
But in the meantime, it's great to see you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
And there, as they say, you have it. Some of our finest thespians in the sunrise of their careers, little thinking of the accolades that lay ahead. I hope you've enjoyed our little adventure through time and space. Join me again for more next time.